Hello everyone, this is Swadam. So today we're actually going to talk about the transmembrane transport mechanism in respects of mitochondria. If you guys remember, in my first video lecture, I have already talked about the gated transport mechanisms, and this gated transport mechanism is actually related to our nuclear transport mechanisms. So in today's lecture, basically I'm going to elaborate the transmembrane transport mechanism of mitochondria, and also going to make a focus that what's the major or you may say the main difference in between the gated transport mechanisms and the transmembrane transport mechanism of mitochondria. Okay, so let us have to proceed. Before going to know the direct mechanism of transmembrane transport, at first we have to clear some basics of mitochondrial structure. And I know that all of you already know these things, that mitochondria is basically constitute the two membranes, that is, one is the outer membranes and another one is the inner membrane, and in between this outer and inner membrane there is space, that is what we call the intermembrane space. And especially for mitochondria, this intermembrane space is called as a perimitochondrial space. Okay, and at the very core of this mitochondria you will find a matrix, that is what we call the mitochondrial matrix. So this is whatever the you must say the general identification of mitochondrial structure. And apart from this, you will find some cristae that is responsible to increase the surface area of inner membrane space. But in case of the transmembrane transport mechanisms, the cristae basically doesn't play any big role, so that's why you may skip the cristae in case of transport mechanism. But this is also an characteristics of mitochondrial structure. Okay, now I would like to talk about the mitochondrial transport membrane mechanism process, transportation process. Okay, so in case of nuclear transport mechanism, if you guys remember, I have mentioned that any proteins that is right now synthesized inside the cytosolic region of this particular cell by using the free cytosolic ribosome, those proteins is actually basically constitute some signal peptide, or you may say some signaling sequence. And this sequence, and depending upon this particular sequence, the protein will have to be localized into different compartment. Let's suppose 4 protein has been synthesized inside the cytosolic region, and apart from these 4 proteins, one protein is constituted particular localization signaling, the next protein is also constituted that localization signaling, but the next remaining 2 proteins is constituted another localization signaling. Now the first 2 proteins that is constituted a similar localization signaling, that protein will have to be localized into similar localization center. On the other hand, the remaining 2 proteins that constitute the same localization signaling, this protein will have to be localized into same compartment, but this compartment will be different from the first one. Got it? This is what about the localization signaling. Now any protein which has synthesized inside the cytosolic region of the cell by using the free cytosolic ribosome, if this protein is constitute a particular localization signaling, and if this signaling is coding to localize this protein for mitochondrial matrix, then immediately this protein will have to be perform the transportation process of mitochondrial localization. Got it? Once this protein is constituted, this particular localization signaling, besides of its amino terminus, immediately this protein will be localized by specific translocators. Now what is translocators? Translocators is nothing but it's basically like a transporter, because they transport these proteins from one region to another regions. Got it? So in case of mitochondria, you will find total 4 type of translocators, and this translocator is basically present over the membrane of this mitochondria, that is outer and inner membrane. So if I talk about the outer membrane transporters, that is the TOM complex, TOM complex, that is transmembrane of outer membrane protein of mitochondria. Got it? And if I talk about the inner mitochondrial membrane translocators, then this is basically the TIM complex, TIM complex. Now any protein which is synthesized right now into the cytosolic region, this protein will have to be recognized by this TOM complex, because the TOM complex is present over the outer membrane of this mitochondria. So definitely this protein will have to be first contact with this newly synthesized protein. Got it? Now once the recognition will occur and attachment will occur, this TOM complex will transport this cytosolic protein from cytosolic region to the perimitochondrial space. As I have already mentioned that mitochondria is having outer membrane, then the perimitochondrial space, then the inner membrane. So any protein will have to be passed inside the mitochondrial matrix from cytosolic region. That protein will have to be first cross the outer membrane, then the perimitochondrial space or the intermembrane space, then it will have to be cross the inner mitochondrial membrane. Only then any protein will come into the mitochondrial matrix. So at first the TOM complex will recognize this protein from cytosolic region. Then by using this TOM complex, this protein will be get reach into the perimitochondrial space or the intermembrane space. And as soon as this protein will reach into the perimitochondrial space, immediately there is another complex. The TIM complex, that is TIM complex, transmembrane of inner membrane mitochondrial protein. This is present over the inner membrane of mitochondria. So this TIM complex will recognize this perimitochondrial space protein, and from this perimitochondrial space, now this protein will have to be shipped inside the mitochondrial matrix. So this is the way that how any protein which is synthesized into the cytosolic region of the cells will have to be translocated inside the mitochondrial matrix. Now this is what about the general protein transport mechanism. Now there is a protein that is what we call the integral protein or the transmembrane proteins. Some protein will have to be embedded into the inner membrane or the outer membrane. That protein basically will not localized into the matrix. That protein will have to be embedded into the membrane. Some protein will have to be embedded into the inner membrane, and some protein will have to be embedded into the outer membrane. Now in this case, there is another two complex present. In case of inner membrane, there is present the OXA complex, OXA complex. So any protein which will have to be embedded into the inner membrane of mitochondria, that protein will have to be recognized by this OXA complex, because OXA complex is also present into the inner membrane of mitochondria, just like in TIM complex. But TIM complex, the function of TIM complex is to localize these proteins from perimitochondrial space to the mitochondrial matrix. But in case of OXA complex, this protein is basically helps to embedded any protein into the mitochondrial inner membrane portions. Now if any protein will have to be embedded into the outer membrane portion of this mitochondria, then this protein will have to be recognized by another complex, that is what we call the SAM complex, SAM complex. So this is what about the general idea of mitochondrial transmembrane transport mechanism. So TIM complex, you must say there are different types of TIM complex. There is TIM 21, TIM 23. I will talk about it later. Got it? So this is what about the basic transmembrane transport mechanism of mitochondria. Now to continue all of these transport mechanisms, the energy is always required, and in our biological system, the ATP is the only key sources of energy. Now ATP will produce by using this ATP hydrolysis process, and in case of mitochondria, the electron transport chain mechanism plays a great role in the production of ATP, or you may say the energy. I will talk about this electron transport mechanism in my upcoming video lecture, because it's a very important topic, and to cover all these topics, a single class is not be sufficient. It's a very vast topic, and you have to be clear, make your concept very much clear to know this electron transport chain mechanisms. So I hope this much is sufficient to know about this transmembrane transport mechanism. So if you guys think that my video is helping you in some essence, then please do subscribe my channel and likes and thumbs ups on my video lectures. And if you have any problem regarding anything, you may put your comments just below the comment box. I'll try to clear your concepts or doubts. Thank you.